how do you deal with like stress? Because business is tough. I'm sure you'll agree. Like a lot of people want to be rich, and I'm sure you said it a million times in your videos. People want money, they want the life, they want everything. But when they get into the real world of making money, there are huge problems. You've got lawsuits sometimes. You've got all sorts of things going on. And they crack and they're like, I don't want it anymore. So how do you personally deal with stress when it gets tough?
Yeah, when it gets tough, I ask myself, is this stress or is it tension? Because there's a big difference. Stress is, something I have no control over. Why am I wasting my time stressing out about something I have zero control over? For instance, market tanked 1,000 points because war started and there was a major crisis and I'm stressed out. I don't control that. That's war. That's out of my hands. Something happened in a marketplace, a new regulation that I have zero control over because a new president got elected and that regulation is being passed over. I see people stressing out about it over 3 months. That's stress. You're stressing because you're thinking about something you have zero control over. It's a waste of energy and time to spend time thinking about things you have zero control over. Tension, on the other hand, I welcome it because you are never going to do anything big without having a lot of tension. And by the way, the bigger the dream is, or the bigger the vision is, the bigger the mission is, the more tension you're going to be having. That's a must to be having more tension. And I prefer tension because during times of tension, I learn about everybody. You learn about yourself. You learn about people you're doing business with. You learn about who's tough. You learn about who's strong. You learn about who's weak. You learn about who's afraid. We just had a conference in Las Vegas last week. We had 4,000 people there, and simultaneously, another competitor was also having a conference there, and it got extremely competitive at one point. And I saw some of the spirits of our executives, got bigger. They were getting tougher. They were proud. They were excited. And I saw some people got timid and they were afraid because that tension was a little too much for them. You see it in sports, you see it in Hollywood, you see it in business, you see it in political debates, you see it in everywhere. And typically, we as human beings end up following people who can handle tension the most. We don't like people that are always under stress because they stress us out. So anytime you're in an issue where it's making you have anxiety, you're thinking a lot about it, just ask yourself, is it tension? Is this a category of attention or is it a category of stress? If it's stress, I'm not spending time thinking about it. If it's tension, let's figure out a way to solve this.
Amazing. One of the things that I've had to deal with, and I've seen other people have to deal with, anyone successful, I've seen have to deal with a lot of hate. What is your opinion? How should someone deal with hate?
I think you should welcome it. I think people don't have enough haters. I always say I don't have enough haters.
Wow. Okay.
You got to know who is the most hated man in the world today. Think about it. Honestly, who's the most hated man in the world today? Who do you think it is?
I would say Donald Trump.
Yeah, of course. It's very easy. It's probably Donald Trump. He's number one. And then, number two is probably going to be another prime minister, or another king or another, whoever it is. Generally, in your country, the most hated man in your country is the most powerful man in your country. You just got to know that. So if you want power, if you want to have success, if you want to be prominent at what you're doing, and you want everybody to love you, you can't have that bipolar relationship. You can't accept that. You can't sit there and want to say that, oh, I want to be extremely prominent and successful, and at the same time, I want everybody to love me. It ain't going to work out that way. And by the way, historically, no one's been in that place. No religious leader, no political leader, no sports figure, no general, no successful businessman. You will never in the history of mankind find one individual that excelled either in influence, finance, or power in the lifetime that wasn't hated by half the audience in the world. You're generally going to be hated by half the audience, and you're hoping that the other half is so loyal to you that you can go out there and fulfill the mission or whatever prophecy it is that you're trying to fulfill.
Amazing. That was probably the best advice for me, because when I'm doing this in the retail industry, it's like, wow, I didn't realize that so many people are going to hate. But, you help and you focus on what you're doing that is good. And the rest, you have to just make it go over your head. But that was so powerful. Thank you so much.